Hi guys, it's Chelsea. Since I did a video last week telling you guys a little bit about myself, I thought this week I would do a very personal video. I was bullied in high school. It was actually a really hard time in my life. I start squinting my eyes. That's because the sun is right in my face. The first time I was ever bullied was my freshman year of high school. The beginning of freshman year seemed to be the best time ever. I had a really good group of friends, finally had my first boyfriend, which just so happened to be Pasquale. Life seemed great in the beginning. And then all of a sudden, to this day, I don't know what happened, but one of my friends just yelled at me over something so stupid that I can't even remember what it was about. I remember just walking away from my friends, just for that day, because for some reason I got embarrassed because she was yelling at me or whatever, but I remember walking away from my friends and having lunch somewhere else because I was embarrassed. I don't know why. I had lunch by myself for the first time behind the bathrooms, and then the following day I did the same thing because I was still pretty embarrassed that she had pretty much yelled at my face. And then I came back a couple days later to our table where we had ate every single day at lunch, and they wanted nothing to do with me. I walked away from my group of friends because I felt embarrassed, and I felt, why do I need to be here when she's making fun of me or yelling at me? And I made a choice to walk away, but I guess she, after that, didn't want anything to do with me. And that really hurt because it seemed like what she made it seem like was I turned my back on my friends when I walked away, which made no sense. And it's a really stupid reason. And then it seemed like all of my other friends turned their backs on me. And what had really sucked was all of that happened. Pasquale and I broke up, which meant that I had no boyfriend and I had no friends. I had no friends because they were all at that table. And so for the rest of freshman year, I remember I would walk out of class alone, go get food from the cafeteria alone, and eat my lunch alone behind the girls' bathroom. That hit home. That killed my self-esteem a little bit. After that, I started to get really depressed. After school, I would get really exhausted, and I just didn't want to do anything. I started thinking about, suicide. Did people really care about me? I never acted on those suicidal thoughts, but I had them. And a lot of times they were really scary to think about. And I thought, would anyone really miss me if I was gone? And that's when my parents started to realize that something was wrong. Something was wrong with me. My emotions were out of whack. I wouldn't want to do anything. I would be in my room all the time. And they suggested that I would go see a therapist. And honestly, that was probably the best thing that I could have done, because I could talk to a stranger about it. They didn't know the story, they didn't know my history, they didn't know who I was, and I could just tell them, everything that I was thinking, all the anger that I had, and they wouldn't judge me. After a while of not hanging out with my friends, we tried to make amends. We tried to be friends again that year, but it didn't work out. The one that yelled at me, she didn't like it. So they took her side, which I understood, but was hurt over because I was like, you guys are my friends too. One thing that really helped after that year was the year my aunt and uncle took me on a car camping trip up California coast up to Oregon, and it was really cool. I needed it. I needed to get out of town. I needed to get away from people who knew me. I just needed to get away. I don't think my aunt and uncle know this, but they really saved me because I got away from my problems. I got to see what real life was like. I got to be in nature. I got to see the beauty of the rest of this world that I had never seen before. I didn't get to see the whole world, obviously, but I got to just live life away from my problems, and it really, really helped. And, after that summer, I was still hurt. The feelings were bearable, but I was still hurt. I still struggle with trusting people today. I struggle so much with letting people in, telling them about myself, and I will constantly struggle with that. Those people that you hang out with really influence you whether you think about it or not. And it's taken me a really long time, but Pasquale and I didn't talk for the longest time, even though he is the person that I've known the longest. And we've had so many ups and downs. He's been with me through pretty much everything. I hate him, but I love him as a friend. And even though these people have done these things to me, I have learned to let it go, because if you continuously let it eat inside of you, you're never gonna get over it. You're never gonna move past it. And you might miss out on something good that all of these feelings are keeping you from. So I encourage you to talk to someone. If you are going through bullying, or if someone is bullying you, or if you're bullying someone and you feel like a victim or you're being victimized, then please talk to someone. Whether it's your parents, a teacher, a friend, a therapist, or if you're having suicidal thoughts like I did, get some help. If you feel like it's the end, it's not, because you have the rest of your life to live. If it feels miserable at the time, or right now, for instance, if you feel like crap, think about how much you will grow. If you're in high school right now, if you're in college, if you're married, if you feel like you hate your life, you might hate it right now, but think about a month from now or a year from now. You will grow so much as a person in so little time, it's crazy. But if you are someone who's going through a problem, or if you're someone who hurts themselves to feel pain or to feel any emotion, just know that life will get better. I know my bullying may not be as extensive or as advanced as others, but I had to go through a lot of emotional stuff to get through it. So I hope you guys will see the positive in this video and love yourself. If you guys want to see more of a self-confidence video, let me know in the comments below. I'd like to do something about that too, because that's something I really struggle with as well. If you want to see more personal videos like this, give it a thumbs up. And if you want someone to talk to, I'm here. So you guys can tweet me. You can ask me on Tumblr. And I will try to respond the best I can. And if I feel you guys need some professional help, I will definitely let you guys know that. There's going to be a list of a bunch of links to multiple prevention websites down below. I did want to make a note. I still, even though I was hurt by my friends in freshman year, I still am sort of kind of friends with them today. The people who hurt you the most sometimes need to be forgiven. If you feel comfortable and willing, I'd say try to give them another chance, because sometimes they deserve it, sometimes they don't, but you'll never know unless you give them a chance. But until then, I will talk to you guys in another video. Bye.